Welcome to Nigel K's tomato growing video again. It's about 3 weeks since we last done a video. Our tomato plants were in the hotbed. They were about that high at the time, and you remember. As I say, this week I've been planting them out, so we'll go through what we've been doing. So right up this side here, these are the Shirley tomatoes, and these go right up the full side of the greenhouse. We're going to use these as our main crop tomato variety this year. So this week I've been planting them out into the grow bags. Over this side, if you remember, we actually have Moneymaker. So I've actually put 6 Moneymaker plants in this side here. The next 6, as you remember, were Alicante. We're actually doing Alicante. We're doing some experimentals to see what's going to happen. The next 6 were Honeycomb. So these are our Honeycomb tomatoes. There's 6 of those being put in. And I've left these 6 to show you. I plant my tomatoes. There's 3 Cavendish, so we're putting 3 Cavendish in. And we're also putting 3 Panvoy in. I'm in pots as an experiment again. I've got some beef varieties of tomatoes. I've just put 1 in to try it. We'll monitor the progress. This one's called Brandywine. This one is called Prudence Purple. Now this one's an unusual leaf. It doesn't look like a standard tomato. It's got a leaf like a potato. So that's a Prudence Purple. We'll watch that one. And I've got 1 grow bag here with 3 pots in ready. There's just a string on there for tying up. But this one here is the Brandywine Pink. Now these are the last ones that we've sown. These are the plants. They're not quite big enough yet to go in, so I'm going to give these another week or 10 days on the hotbed before we put them in. But these plants need to be about up here before we put them in. But just to show you what we've got, and these Brandywine Pink, I'm going to put 3 in this grow bag here. But that's going to be in about a couple of weeks time. Right, how I plant my tomatoes. Standard grow bags are not deep enough, simple as that. They're not deep enough at all. So what I do, I take a 7.5 litre pot like this. I cut the bottoms off them and make like a ring culture pot, basically a pot with no bottom in. I insert it inside the grow bag, insert it down about 3 inches, and then I fill the actual pots up with a mixture of the grow bag compost and also John Innes number 3, which is a soil-based compost. So I basically fill my pots up to there. Remember, we're going to aim to have these about 2 inches off the top of the pot. The compost will finish about 2 inches from the top when it settles down, so we've got enough room there to water. So the water can sit in the pot there. So I use the John Innes mix as well, because it's a soil-based compost. It actually helps to retain water, and the compost doesn't dry out as quickly. So right, planting them in. So basically we take them out, as I say, a nice healthy plant. Take them out the pot. Do a hole about 5 inches deep. Insert them down straight, and just basically fetch your compost in round them like that. So that's 1. We'll plant these last 6 just to show you. 2. As I say, get the depth. It must be at least about 5 inches deep, just so the roots will get well down there and established. 3. 4. Again, about 5 inches down. That's 5. And the last one in the corner there is 6. Now, what I do as well at this stage, as soon as I plant them in, I actually insert the cane which they're going to grow up. Because I don't let the roots get too established and spread out and start disturbing them by putting the cane in. So insert your cane, probably about an inch off the stem of the plant. Even if you don't tie them up at this stage, still insert your cane, because we're trying to do minimal root disturbance once the plant starts to grow. final one. Now another tip that I'm going to do now, as I say, now I've got all my plants basically planted up, I'm going to put a little bit of calcified seaweed. Not much, about 5 ml of calcified seaweed, and I'm going to scatter that right round each plant. As I've said in my other videos, if you've been watching, you cannot start the tomato plant off too early on its calcium journey. Calcium's so important with tomatoes, as I say, even right from the beginning, because it's at the beginning when the flowers will start and show, and that's when the calcium starts to form into the flowers, and that's what's going to end up forming in your tomatoes. So scatter that round the top of each one, about 5 ml, and every time we water, that will water in and give some calcium to the tomatoes. So now we've got them in, don't forget, a nice water, and that will help settle the compost down. And we should be watering at this stage, we should be keeping them damp, but not soaked. In days like this, we should be watering every 2 to 3 days. Now I'm planting these out in March, so I have got some heat on. I've no heat on through the day, but I've got some heat on at night times, because say we are only about mid-March. I just use electric heater, just convenient, but you can use any type of heater. As I say, if you don't want to put heat on, you don't be planting your tomatoes out to middle of April, to 2nd to 3rd week in April. Well, join us again in another couple of weeks' time, and we'll just have a look and see how they've come along. Thank you. Bye-bye.